Hey, you beautiful twin flames, and welcome to your audio channeled message with me today. I'm so delighted if you have joined me. As many of you know, I usually am on camera. I feel very guided just to do audio messages at this present moment in time. The energies around at the moment have been quite difficult for many divine feminines, and I really want you to just tap into my voice. I want you to tap into what I'm saying. I'm going to be doing a divine masculine check-in, but before I do, I'm going to speak directly to the feminine, okay? So listen up, all you gorgeous darling feminines, because I know many of you are going through such a difficult time right now, with especially the people in your life, around you, in and around you, maybe work colleagues, maybe it's family, maybe it's, friends, etc. And I want you to know that you're not alone, okay? So what's going on with the planet right now is absolutely huge. There's basically, literally, you could nearly draw a line between third dimensional consciousness and fifth dimensional consciousness and above. Now, I don't talk about fourth dimensional consciousness too much because this is kind of that in-between place when people are still doubting their own awakening or doubting the information they're getting. They're still unsure. So this is why I don't often talk about fourth dimensional consciousness. So if you're new to my channel, I talk about the third dimensional reality as in, we are in a physical body, our souls reside in a physical body, and we live on the earth plane. So that's third dimensional reality. A third dimensional mindset consciousness is, of course, the old paradigm, the kind of, we're slaves to the system. We are, we need to go to work 9 to 5, we need to get up at the same time every day, we need to, be told what to do. That's the old paradigm. We're slowly moving from this consciousness into fifth dimensional consciousness, and as a twin flame and or light worker, whatever you'd like to call yourself, you will be pushing through a lot of this rough energy, it's kind of like being on the ocean in a boat. Sometimes the sea is calm and other times it feels very tumultuous, especially when, third dimensional consciousness people are doing everything they can to perhaps tear us down or have opinions or judgments about, our lives. Or, when you finally think, you feel free in some kind of way, it may feel that people are pulling you down again. So this is kind of what's going on for the divine feminine at the moment. She's trying to maintain her high vibration, but yet she's finding that the people around her are maybe being difficult, maybe are acting in a certain way that isn't very comfortable for her. Maybe they're judging her. Maybe they're just depressed about the world situation in general. And so she's going through a bit of a time where she feels as if she wants to close off from the world and perhaps even from her divine masculine at this time. It's definitely a period of, just hold on and know that calm seas are on their way. So that's what I want to say to the feminine. And if you're listening today, all divine feminines, I want you to understand how beautiful you are, how perfect you are in all of your imperfections. In fact, your imperfections make you who you are. I want you to follow your joy as much as you can, despite what you're seeing in the world around you. Okay, if you are low on energy, you can have a nap. If you are feeling like you can't, do anything extra, then don't do anything extra. Just do what you need to do and rest at this time. The planet is really going through, this energy shift. Okay, so basically we're trying to slowly wake the third dimensional consciousness people up. If you're a light worker or a twin flame or both, then you know how difficult this can be. You can't shake people awake. They need to do it in their own time. You can maybe just give them little crumbs, little breadcrumbs here and there, Some of the topics people may be discussing with you right now may include politics, may include vaccinations, mask wearing. What else might they be discussing with you? Satanism, or, elite kind of topics, slavery topics. Perhaps they might be talking about financial systems, or maybe you know a lot about these things and have researched a lot about these things, and other people just simply don't understand what you're going on about. I want you to know that you are not alone, and if you feel that you're alone, you are more than welcome to email me, and I will do my best to help you feel better in some kind of way. Okay, because that's my mission, on this, in this lifetime, I should say. And so if you want to reach out to me, feel free to do that. And of course, I have a services list in the description box below. So many of you are here and you're feeling kind of a bit funky right now, in a bit of a yucky way. I want to tell you that keep going. Make sure you hydrate yourself. Make sure you're eating foods that are suitable. Make sure you are taking the time to rest and recuperate at this time. Some of you are going through ascension symptoms, and others of you are going through the disconnect that occurs when you hang around with people in the third dimensional consciousness reality. And of course, because they're not able to meet your vibration actually comes down to meet theirs. Not necessarily all the way down, but there has to be a matching of energy. Okay, so you might be, as a quick example, you might have gone out in the garden and meditated or prayed, or worked on your chakras and done some awesome stuff. You might be eating healthy, etc., and then I don't know, the in-laws come over and it's the biggest downer ever. Right? Or I don't know, your sisters, brothers, uncles, cousins, friend tells you that you're crazy because ... or you don't understand them because ... or why aren't you in that particular job, or whatever. They're gonna have their little dig at you. So my advice to you, if you are struggling right now, especially with people around you, is to take the approach of being non-reactionary. Okay, so instead of getting angry or sad or mad or any of those lower vibrational emotions, remain as cool as a cucumber, which is a saying. I don't know if that's Australian slang or if it's just something I say, but I want you to remain cool, calm and collected and balanced in your energy as much as possible, and don't let them bring your self-esteem down. Okay, so don't let other people's actions and behaviors and words bring your energy down. That's mostly a message for the divine feminine. Some divine masculines listening today may also find that information helpful and or relevant. What I'll do now is, we kind of know that most divine feminines are struggling a little bit with their energy. So I've given you tips and tools there. Meditate more, drink more water, fresh, clean water, not chemical, right? Don't drink tap water. You know what I'm saying there. Make sure you're eating foods that are good for you. If you need to take a nap, take a nap. If you need to dance like no one's watching, do that too. If you need to be around animals or nature, do that. Okay, just come back to you, come back to God, Allah, Buddha, whoever you believe in, whoever source is for you, and know that we're just riding this wave out. This is just an energy wave that we're riding out at this time. Okay, whew, that was a lot. And I'm guided to drink water right now. So let's tap into the divine masculine energy and see what's going on with him. I feel like many divine masculines are kind of a little bit tired as well. Perhaps, feeling some of your energy, divine feminine. Divine feminine has stayed as high as she can for a really long time. And then I feel like the third dimensional reality or aka the Matrix, kind of pulled her down in a way. So let's see how the divine masculine is faring. Wow. Interesting. We have him feeling off balanced here. Okay, so I'm just going to continue shuffling because I'm going to be pulling the cards as I'm talking with you. We literally have him showing up as the Two of Pentacles, and in the background there is a boat on really stormy seas, which is exactly what I was saying. Kind of feels like there's some stormy seas going on. Nothing major. Wow. I'm using 2 decks, a clarifying deck also showing up. Both of the bottom of the decks are the Two of Pentacles. Okay, so it's really unusual that happens, that both decks would have the same card on the bottom. So that's a real big message, is that balance is key for all twin flames right now. Remain balanced. Do not react to the third dimensional consciousness people who are pushing their agendas, which are generally fear-based. Ignore, right? Just ignore them. Just accept what they have to say, as in just kind of shrug it off, or shake it off. We then have the divine masculine going within. He's feeling like being alone at the moment. He's feeling very vulnerable in a big, scary world, we could say. In the recent past, I feel like he dodged a tower moment, and for some of them, they are kind of feeling like they don't know how to connect with their spirituality or with their religion. They're feeling disconnected slightly. This is because of the how do I say that 3 times fast? Vulnerability that the feminine is bringing to the table. It's actually making the divine masculine feel quite emotional. So many divine masculines may be kind of clinging to the feminine at the moment, worrying, if they send a message and the divine feminine doesn't get back to them, they may be a bit worried, or they may be, where are you? I sent you a message, you haven't replied. And even though they're not really in the mood to have these deep and meaningful conversations, they just want to know that the feminine's there. So, if I should need you, can you just be there for me? Without you, I feel like I'm off balance. And the feminine's kind of dealing with this in a different way, where she goes, I've just kind of got to get myself together. I can't be relying on anyone. I need to rely on myself. So it's interesting that as the feminine is going within to try and balance herself, the masculine is coming out of hiding, we could say, and trying to reach out It may be in a toxic way. It may be in a chaser kind of way right now. But he's frightened. We're getting this energy of, I'm a bit frightened. I'm a bit like a small child. You know, a small child that needs their mummy. It's kind of a little bit like that. So if you have any matriarchal or patriarchal wounds that you are trying to deal with, Divine Feminine, remember that you can forgive whoever it is that hurt you, whether that's, you know, something traumatic that happened to you, or from a parent, or from a friend. Forgive them so that you set yourself free. Don't hold on to any of that stuck emotion. I often talk about being like a jellyfish. A jellyfish is porous. A jellyfish is permeable. And as you let that energy flow through you, you're going to notice how much easier it is to cope without having all this emotion always attached. You know, the feminine can be very highly emotional, and what we want to do is come to that state of balance. Be non-reactionary as much as possible, and then you'll find that your vibration can maintain itself rather than go, you know, really high highs and really low lows. In fact, if you are consistently working on keeping up a high vibration, and you're allowing your emotions to get the better of you, you know, one minute you feel bliss, and then the next minute something might make you angry, and so you're yelling. You know, you're really doing yourself an injustice here, because we're trying to remain peaceful and calm. Okay, the reason we want to do that is so that the energy doesn't become all cray-cray. You know what I mean? You don't want to, I guess we could say, you know, a manic depressive is a person who has really high highs. So, you know, they have really high adrenaline. They may stay up all night. They may go bungee jumping. They may get this, you know, have this high or this adrenaline, and then they can crash, right? So we don't want to do this kind of bipolar energy with our vibration. And of course, if you have, you know, if you are suffering at all from bipolar, I wasn't only using that as a metaphor, and I wasn't using it, you know, as to offend anyone in any kind of way. However, I also do believe that, you know, that state of being is also to do with energy. So if you need help with that, you're more than welcome to connect with me. In fact, if you suffer from depression, anxiety, or any other disorder of, you know, that's clinically based, you are more than welcome to connect with me in a spiritual kind of way, so that we can work through that together. Alrighty, so the masculine also wants to talk about how in the past there have been women in his life that have made him feel emasculated, not good enough, not worthy enough. Wow, this is a real mirroring going on here. He's also remembering the people who have made him feel not good enough. And it looks like for the masculine, it's a matriarchal energy, which is a distorted female motherly energy, which is being reflected in the feminine with a patriarchal or fatherly distorted masculine energy. So this is what's going on for twin flames right now, is we're trying to heal these distorted gender roles. Now when I say gender, I'm not talking about the sex of a person necessarily, but the energy they have, whether they have a feminine or masculine energy primarily, and whether it's distorted or not. So the masculine's trying to say, for some of them, you know, I had a mother or an ex-girlfriend or a cousin or a sister who spoke rudely to me in the past. I felt like I was being emasculated. I felt like I couldn't do anything right. You know, I never had enough money for them. I was never good enough for them. They always picked on me. There's this narcissism coming through for the masculine, and he's talking about it now. He doesn't understand why the feminine can't see him struggling a little bit, because this ungroundedness here, you know, on her end feels like a deception. It feels like that in some kind of way the divine masculine's running away from the connection, or perhaps has better things to do, for want of better words here. So this is definitely an issue where he feels like the feminine isn't understanding him. And so he goes within and tries to find his own solace, tries to find his own joyousness, tries to wish and hope and pray that she comes back to him in a beautiful way, in a loving way, in a cornucopia kind of way. But he's not really aware that she's going through something. So they're both going through something. His feels more physical. He feels more physically exhausted, and she feels more mentally exhausted. Now, as she stops this overthinking and comes into balance, then he'll stop feeling as physically exhausted, is the message that's coming through now from Spirit. So, you know, interestingly, I feel like these energies are intermingling. So I feel like some of you divine feminines are going to be saying, oh, but I also feel physically exhausted right now. And some of the masculines may be like, yeah, well, I'm mentally, you know, done, you know. So we've got this energy coming on both sides, affecting both twins right now. The need to go within, the need to just be still, the need to just be quiet is here. I'm going to get one last message from the masculine. Self-love and self-nurturing is key right now. You know, take a longer bath than usual. Enjoy your food. You know, watch those silly movies that you love to watch, you know. Take the time to kind of spoil yourself. You know, have that piece of chocolate if you really want to. You know, always go with your own intuition. Yeah, so we have him again coming through. He's coming through as the Page of Pentacles in reverse. So he doesn't just feel vulnerable, he feels very vulnerable in the physical world right now. He also feels very clingy. There's an issue. Wow, all the cards are just falling. He wants to be, you know, this sexy kind of King of Wands energy, right? You know, where he's kind of creative and sexy and beautiful and amazing. But then he feels that he's not being supported. So either people around him aren't supporting him, and it made him sad, kind of like what the feminines had going on in some ways. He maybe even had to be defensive in some kind of way. For those divine masculines that are married or in other connections, they don't feel attracted, sexually attracted to their partners at all. In fact, they feel like they want to move away from their karmics. It's too much of a burden to do that right now because of the energy they're in. And so for many of them, they could be checking out your social media or messages you've sent in the past, or kind of thinking about you a lot because you make them feel safe. There's this feeling of needing to feel safe. You know, it's a kind of, please help me, I'm really off balance right now, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do and I don't know what to say. So if they're not saying anything at all, this is why. There's a tower moment on its way or already happening for many divine masculines, as it is for the divine feminine too. So stay in your lane. Stay disconnected from anyone or anything that's pushing you off balance. Anyone who's judging you, anyone who's belittling you, anyone who is, saying anything against you. Stay non-reactionary. This is for both the masculine and feminine. Like I say, there's a real disconnect going on between third dimensional consciousness people and fifth dimensional consciousness people and above. And usually what will happen is that the people who are in the higher vibration, aka twin flames and light workers, are being brought down by those who are in lower frequencies. And then, of course, it feels like you're spiraling. So the way to curb this is to remain non-reactionary, take care of the self first and foremost, and absolutely ignore anyone who is, taking the piss, which is a saying in Australia. If someone's taking the piss out of you, it means that they're, paying you out or doing you a disservice in some kind of way with their words, or having fun with you or teasing you or bullying you in any kind of way. Don't allow them to do this. Remain in your lane. And if that means you have to ignore people or say to them, I'm not going on social media for a while, or I'm not having visitors for a while, or I'm not, going to be going to that, meeting next week, or whatever it is, that's a form of self-care and also part of boundary setting as well. So do that as much as possible, and know that if you need me, I'm here. I really understand how difficult these energies have been. It can feel, I don't know if you've ever seen those memes for light workers where they say, this is what ascension really looks like, and there's someone, meditating or, sitting and aligning their chakras or something, and then it says, and this is what it really looks like. And then you've got, a picture, I think it's an actress where, her hair's up everywhere and, she's got a broken cigarette in her mouth and she looks like she's been through the ringer, And that's kind of how it feels at the moment. So just know it's an energetic disconnect that's going on in the world right now, and it's kind of bringing the light to the dark. And the light workers, of course, have been trying to hold this light for such a long time that we do get tired. There is a need to maybe even eat more food, to keep our energy levels up. More self-nurturing, more self-care, and really balancing out those emotions. Don't let anyone trigger you, okay? Because that is the fear. The fear will always try and bring down the love. I always say that the opposite to love is fear. And so when you stay in a loving vibration, and if that means you have to curl yourself up into a ball into your bed a little bit earlier one night before you go to work the next day, then that's fine. Do whatever you need to do to remain balanced and remain non-reactionary to these 3D consciousness, third dimensional consciousness people who may or may not realize that they're triggering you. Okay? All right. Because I know it's impossible to be around all awakened people. And many of you all around the world are feeling highly lonely at this time. But I'm here to tell you, as a last message, that you are not alone. And, go to source energy as much as you can. Whoever that is for you, whether it's God, Buddha, or Allah, or just source and creation energy, or Mother Gaia, or whoever you, resonate with. And that will give you the energy that you seek. Okay? I am sending you a beautiful day, night, afternoon, evening, or morning, wherever you are in the world. If you need me, reach out to me. And don't forget, for those of you booking a reading between now and May the 12th, 2021, in case you're listening to this at another time, you will go into the draw to win one of 20 prize packages that I'll be giving away around May the 12th, Australian time. Okay? So have a wonderful, wonderful day wherever you are, and I'll see you real soon. Bye, everyone. Bye.